Welcome back to Bear's Restaurant. Yep, this is what the title screen now looks like. Pretty cool, right? Look at... Oh, it's a soccer ball! Alright, you know that cat? You know what's crazy about this? Can you guess who that is? That was the demon. There is so much stuff to do. What's up? I think I could use to stretch my legs. You know, it's funny. I don't have to be a bear anymore if I don't want to. Yeah, I guess I'm gotten used to it. Yeah. Oh, this is bubble tea. When I was still alive, there was this place called Melty in Nakano that I really liked a lot. So I asked Mr. Bear if he could recreate it for me. Can't wait to post this on my Telegram. Is this some kind of computer? Looks like someone left the log entries up. From this day forward, I've been officially assigned to in-between Sector A32. Already, I think it's pretty unfair that the dead have no duties or responsibilities, while we angels have to work our butts off. I did learn one interesting tidbit, however. It seems one soul has opened up a restaurant in this sector. Normally a soul as clean as his would go straight to heaven, yet it seems he has some unfinished business to attend to. His is a rare and interesting case, so I'll be sure to keep an eye on him. I went to the restaurant today again. It's become something of a routine for me at this point. I just sit in there and watch the clientele. But today I made another interesting discovery. Though it's odd that a bear could cook as well, but lo and behold, it turns out he's actually a human. Yes, souls can change appearance after they die, but most of the time their appearance here reflects how they saw themselves in life. There must be a reason why he seen himself as a bear. Oh, darn it, I forgot the place in order again. Today, the restaurant got a new worker. Another human. But this one looks like a cat. The establishment's become quite popular in recent weeks. Its new slogan, "Your very own Last Supper," has proven to be a real hit. Also, I finally mustered up the courage to ask the bear why exactly he started doing this. He said he's hoping his long-deceased daughter will walk in those doors someday. Also, said he's confirmed that his daughter hasn't already gone to heaven or hell, meaning she's most likely somewhere in between. I'll investigate his daughter's whereabouts when I have the time. There was a major disaster today. The demon of the nihility somehow made it all the way up here in the in-between. Unfortunately, I just left the restaurant when he supposedly arrived. I could sense that something was amiss, however, so I made my way to the station, where I found him already devouring innocent souls. Even we angels are fairly powerless to confront the demon of nihility. I called for reinforcements, but by the time they arrived, it was too late. Yet, much to my surprise, the humans it swallowed up actually managed to defeat the demon. Now it's completely disappeared, back from when it came. Well, at least I thought the demon disappeared, but it seems the story goes on. Apparently it was hiding somewhere in the restaurant, and now it's stolen away with their little cat. My negligence was partially to blame for this, so I decided to offer the bear some assistance. Obviously, hell is a way beyond my jurisdiction, let alone the nihility, but I wanted to at least give him the option to make that decision. I really can't imagine anyone ever going to the nihility and coming back to tell the tale, but I couldn't just stand idly by. Now when it was just revealed that the little cat was the very daughter he'd been searching for all along. I can't believe it. They came back from the Nihility like it was no big deal at all. Apparently the light of self-sacrifice was observed by the Nihility's entrance. My tenure here in this sector has now concluded, so I'll be returning to heaven with my findings. I'll definitely be telling all my colleagues about this miraculous restaurant. So the girl's name was Annie. Cause of death, falling. Kind-hearted daddy's girl. She played soccer. Her love for cats was so great that she often wished she could become one. She locked outside of the school one day and tried to escape. Adamant, no records exist of the soul ever making it to heaven. She has been presumed missing for a very long time. Wow. So remember that guy with the walking stick? Yup. That was him. I was told that there'd be fishing in heaven. Boy, I can't wait. My biggest regret in life is that I never finished my video game backlog. Huh? You want one of my favorite games of all time? Way too many to list, but here's a few. Oh yes, Last Fantasy. Many folks say 7 was the best Last Fantasy. Personally, I think 6 was the best. The last one of the 2D graphics. Pixel art is just a lot more timeless, you know? Looking at 20-year-old 3D graphics makes my eyes bleed. Graphical limitations also force developers to be more creative in crafting compelling stories, too. People might call that nostalgia bit blindness, but hey, that's how I feel. That's the sort of game that comes along once in a generation. Personally, I was most impressed by how it made a use of its unique battle system. Felt a lot like Father, too, but it didn't try to hide that influence, which I appreciated. It had a sort of artistic integrity to it that a AAA games could never hope to achieve. The only downside is that now the market's flooded with Overtale wannabes. I'm starting to get a little tired of imitators. Man, what a shocker that one was. I already loved the original Mirror, but the sequel blew it out of the water. It was a AAA game with the vibe of an indie game. The music was amazing, and it fit the game world so well, which made it extra powerful. It said that the character designs were pretty horny, of course, and yet they didn't feel overtly lewd either. More refined than that. If you check it out, be sure to play all the way through the true ending. I think... Oh my god, I think we all know what they're referencing at this point. That's fucking brilliant. The Persona series is all about being a young, outgoing teenager, which basically means it lets me live in a life I never got to have when I was in high school. What I like the most about the game is the sense of scale. It starts off a bit of a smaller story, but in a good way. When you start me right off the bat with it, oh no, our world is in danger, it's hard for me to care. But here, it's more like people's everyday lives are slowly being eclipsed by imaginary world. I get that. Makes things hit a little closer to home. It also stretches itself with a calendar system instead of a giant world, which is a clever design. Yeah, it is. Speaking of design, the character designs are all the best in the business, but also that UI! It's so good it makes even casual players who never really noticed these things appreciate the effort that went into making it. The fourth one was also a classic. I really hope they keep making these for a long, long time. One of the most gripping human dramas told in game format thus far, and with stellar graphics to boot. Just sucks that the sequel sucks. Immersion is pretty big buzzword for games nowadays. And boy, was I ever immersed in this game. There was a scene where the protagonist got badly injured, and it just felt so raw. Almost like I could feel his pain. Alrighty, anyway, don't be like me. Finish your bet log before you die. That's the plan. Yo, what up? I got in some trouble with some mobsters on the train, so I jumped off and came back here. Man, all I wanted to do was to go fishing in paradise. Speaking of fishing, I got my hands on some of the good old stuff. Want to try? It'll give you a little taste of heaven. Hey, it's this guy. Man, this sucks. Guess I'm going to hell. Hope my partner's doing alright. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Dorothy. I'm here at the in-between on a bit of business. Oh yeah, so hey, I don't really know anyone here, but I was thinking it'd be nice to have a friend. So, I'll be your friend. Well, I guess it's your lucky day. Not everyone has the privilege to be friends with me, you know. I bet you wish you had a friend from hell, don't you? Actually, I already have one. Oh, really? Well then, you'll have to introduce me sometime. Alright, let's see what happens when we talk as Bear. Alright, see you guys in the next part.